Hey, it's Niall, and today I'm in the Scottish Highlands. So as you know, I'm from Ireland and I've been all around the world the past few years, but this is actually my first time visiting Scotland. And right now we're here just at the foot of Ben Nevis. That's the tallest mountain in the UK. Just had a little picnic. I found a really cool spot here by the river. But listen, today I want to talk to you a bit more about working online. So let's head back to our Airbnb and we'll get stuck in.
We're caught in burning fire, almost falling from the sky, and the sun may tear the wings of us like Icarus we fly.
Alright, so in my last video about working online, I was talking about how to compete with $1.50 freelancers from India. And my goal there was to help you understand that most clients aren't simply looking to hire the cheapest freelancer online. In fact, many of them are put off hiring freelancers with really low rates because that signals poor service. So anyway, that video was all about clients. In this video, I want to talk a bit about your competition, the other freelancers who are vying for the same online jobs that you are. And when you're just getting started working online, there's a tendency to think that your competition has it all figured out and they're submitting polished proposals and it's really hard for you to stand out because they are also brilliant and fantastic. But the truth is, most of your competition sucks. Seriously, most of them are absolutely terrible. And you'll start to notice this more and more as you strive to become an A player and do excellent work. Incompetence is everywhere. Here's how it roughly breaks down. 20% of your competition simply doesn't give a shit. They just want to do the least amount of work possible so they can get paid. They aren't interested in doing good work. They aren't interested in building relationships. Another 20% of your competition simply doesn't know any better. They don't have any training. They don't invest in learning new skills. They have no clue how to write good proposals. They're just flying blind and taking shots in the dark, hoping to get lucky. So that's the bottom 40% of your competition right there. Since you're watching this video, I'm going to assume that these three things are true about you. 1, you care about doing good work. 2, you'd like to build ongoing relationships with your clients. And 3, you're constantly looking to develop yourself and improve your business. Now, if those three things are true about you, then already, by default, you've got that 40% of your competition beat. You're already way ahead of them. And being better than that 40% is enough to start earning decent money online because there's no shortage of work out there. But what I want to show you in this video is that it's not all that hard to compete with the top 60% either, because many of them really aren't all that great. What you're seeing now are the proposals I received after posting a web developer job on Upwork a few weeks back. And the fact that it's a web developer job doesn't really matter because I would have received the same kind of responses no matter what kind of job I posted. Let me go through a few of these quickly. First, there's from the Ukraine. He charges $30 an hour and he's earned more than $10,000 on Upwork. I invited him to apply for this job and he wrote back, "Hello, thank you for invitation." Yes, that's all he wrote. So he obviously doesn't care. So there's no way I was going to hire him. Next, here's from Romania. Her rate is $50 an hour and she's earned more than $90,000 on Upwork. And yet I get pretty much the same lazy response from her. Next, we have also from the Ukraine, $45 an hour, more than $100,000 earned on Upwork, same kind of response. Next we have from London, charges only $25 an hour, has earned more than $40,000 on Upwork. And at first glance, he's not so lazy because he actually wrote quite a bit in his cover letter. But on further inspection, it's obviously just a copy and paste job because he mentions nothing specific about my job posting and just writes all about himself and why he's so great. So again, there's no way I'd hire him. Next, here's from Pakistan. Now, he's very cheap at $10 an hour, and it's clear that he's read the job posting and he's making an effort to reply with specifics. But his grammar isn't good, and he wrote that he was unable to understand the relevant point, which tells me communication would be really difficult with him. And for those of you watching this who are native English speakers, this is really where you have a massive advantage over cheaper freelancers from places like Pakistan or India or the Philippines. Clients like me are happy to pay more for ease of communication, and it's just way easier to communicate with freelancers who are fluent in English. Now, to wrap this up, let me show you quickly who I actually hired for this job. This is from Bosnia and Herzegovina, charges $25 an hour and has earned more than $10,000 on Upwork. You'll note in his proposal here that he didn't tell me anything about himself. Instead, he went straight into addressing the problem I needed help with and demonstrating his expertise that way. He provided the relevant example that I asked for and laid out a clear plan for how he would do the job if I hired him. And note that he even says I have no experience with the library being used. But that didn't bother me at all since he sounded confident and realistic in his response. So don't be afraid to admit your shortcomings or be honest about what you have or haven't done before. That honesty will often be a mark in your favor. And his last line there is great as well. I hope this covers your questions. I am free today to discuss details if you are interested. So he's not making any assumptions there, not pushy at all, strikes just the right tone. So I ended up hiring. I received over 50 proposals for this job, and definitely wasn't the cheapest, but he wasn't the most expensive either. Ultimately, I hired him because he seemed capable of providing the most value, the greatest return on investment. Now, having shown you all of that, what I hope you'll take away from this video is that the competition out there for online work really isn't that tough. So out of those 50 plus proposals I received for that job, literally only 5 of them were worth considering. The rest were terrible. As I mentioned, by default, you're probably ahead of 40% of your competition already. And so long as you develop some decent skills and put some thought and care into your proposals, it's not that hard to get ahead of 50% more and be in the top 10% of people looking for work online. And that means better jobs, it means better pay, and ultimately just more freedom to live life on your own terms. All right, I'd better run, folks. There are all kinds of mountains and lochs and valleys out there to explore, and they're not going to explore themselves. Please go ahead and give this video a like, give it a thumbs up if you found it helpful, subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and also check the description for a link to my Start Earning Online series, which is a free crash course you can sign up for to get you earning online as fast as possible. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. No, I'll do a shitty Scottish accent today. Today, I'm in the Scottish Highlands. That's too much. No, stop laughing.